Big Cock, what is the status of our solar ray?
Charge is nearly complete, Captain.
These humans think so highly of themselves. They shall soon see how irrelevant they are when we torch everything on their planet's surface and establish our own world in their place.
That was a rather lazy exposition to explain what's going on to our listeners, Captain.
Silence, you fool! Patch me through to the other ships. It's time to coordinate our attack.
Stand by. We're hailing them now.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Lost Context Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Brian Griffiths.
What is this?
We have a crazy...
It seems as though we're picking up something from Earth, Captain.
Mostly we were just all over... Mostly we were... Sorry. I have the hiccups. On this episode, we have Chris Riley.
Yeah, we brought our cat to the fair and somebody ripped its tail off.
Tim Demuse.
It's called female genital mutilation, or a clitoridectomy, if you will.
Alex Insdorf.
I feel like penises are probably biodegradable, so I mean, I don't think it would be a harm to the environment or anything.
And as I mentioned already, I'm Brian.
So it seems these Earthlings are funnier than we realized. Let us hold off on destroying their civilization. I would like to listen to this first.
Water, but in giant gulps or something. I can't remember. Anyway, and now we're going to drop you without context into the Lost Context Podcast.
Hello, Alex.
Hello, Brian. I promise not to piss ever again.
I appreciate that. I promise never to say the N-word ever again.
Alright, well, one of those two is going to be broken during this show.
Stay tuned to find out. So I was laughing because I have my two alt accounts that I switch between whenever one gets in trouble. And so I just had recently switched back to my first alt account, and I popped up my messages with you to give you an invite link, and I was suddenly met with, Brian, I fucking swear I can't have people see that I like Hannity or some shit. Brian, change it to literally anything else. which of course harkens back to the day when we made a Facebook theme about you loving Hannity.
Oh my god, I remember that. That was scary because, like, I think, oh god, was that like April or March? I don't remember where it was, but it was like a day where I woke up at like 5 a.m. for like my class and to go to work and stuff. And like I wake up at 6 a.m. I'm like, all right, let me check on the Facebook group. And like the first thing I see in my notifications is Alex Insdorf Sean Hannity fan page, and it's a picture of me in like my Christmas t-shirt holding a picture of Sean Hannity. I'm like, oh my god. And the funny thing about that was that it was, I believe, connected to all the other like right Facebook groups where it was like Tommy Loren's Beautiful Babe or something like that, or something, and like all the other like Sean Hannity fan accounts, and I was like, oh no.
Aha! Our resident Vega yoga instructor is here.
Vega? What's a Vega?
I said vegan.
I don't think you did.
I don't know. I just woke up. I thought I set my alarm, but here's the thing. I woke up to my alarm and I thought, I'm not ready for this. And so I reset it for like a couple hours later, and I thought I switched it on, but maybe I fell asleep and everything was kind of hazy. And then I woke up and thought, where am I? What am I? What is life about? And then I realized we had to start the podcast.
Oh my god.
I had this dream where I was in some sort of like Asian city, and my ex-wife was with me, and we were still married, and there was all this stuff going on. Like they had to evacuate the city, and we were all trying to get out, but we still had to like.
It was Godzilla attacking.
I hope so. But we still had to like buy bus tickets and stuff, and wait for like trains and buses and things. It was a mess.
I had a weird dream today. So I just got back to New Jersey. I had this weird fucking thing where I took a nap at like 1 or 2 p.m. or something because I woke up super early. And so I had a dream where it turns out that everything that was said in the dream was actually something I was listening to on TV while I was sleeping. It was super fucking weird.
I get that a lot when I accidentally leave podcasts on or something.
So you were basically inside the Gorilla Channel?
Kind of, in a way. It was so fucking weird. Like, I was watching ESPN, and they have this guy on who's talking about how he built, like, some charity, like, basketball court for kids or something. And everything, when I woke up, it was like everything I heard in this dream was about charity basketball courts. I'm like, why am I dreaming about charity basketball courts right now? And I wake up, and I see that I left the TV on, and there's this guy on First Take talking about a charity basketball court in Memphis for kids. I'm like, oh. And I didn't even understand that like dreams could work like that.
Yahweh was trying to send you a message. You need to step up your donation game. Get those kids a basketball court.
Or what he was trying to tell him is, hey, all those people down at the synagogue got plenty of money, so you need to break their fucking ankles on the court and take that shit in bets.
It's true.
God is good.
Yeah,
self-charity is always the best.
Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary genders, we know that you know that we here at the Lost Context Podcast care more about promoting the AI podcast than we do our own podcast.
It's not even the AI podcast anymore.
That's the best part.
It's the A podcast.
A. Since we have Alex Insdorf on the show, and since on a previous episode we informed you that the AI podcast was now Torah and Tara, we have another third update to tell you that now Torah and Tara is the Jew and The Shrew. And I think Alex should tell us his thoughts on that.
Well, before that, Alex, which one are you?
I'm actually the Shrew. It turns out Tara has converted to Judaism, and so
good work, dude.
I've rescinded my Judaism, and now I work as I'm a Muslim feminist, and so that's where the show comes from. So Tara's actually the Jew now.
Let me ask you a little bit about being a Muslim feminist. As a Muslim feminist, do you think that it is literal rape anytime that Brian talks to a woman?
I mean, honestly, I think even non-Muslim feminists should think that, to be honest. Like,
that's a fair point. A fair point.
The sound of Brian's voice. The sound of Brian, like, I think Brian breathing should at least be considered, like, sexual assault or something. And then maybe Brian talking is rape.
So that's a fair distinction, I would say. Let's continue to talk as though Brian is not on this podcast at all.
I could go back to bed. Just let you guys carry on. Since Tara is unable to be circumcised to convert, does she have to get nose injections to make her nose bigger? Hey.
No, actually, they're gonna
Wait, Brian. Do you think that, like, are you saying, so are you trying to say that men in the Jewish faith must be circumcised?
Yes, and I'm also saying that they must have large noses.
But that goes for the women, too.
Yes.
Wait, but, like, can women be circumcised?
Yeah, they can, as a matter of fact. What you do is you take a piece of glass, you hold her legs spread wide, right? And you just fucking canoe a nice little, it's called female genital mutilation, or a clitoridectomy, if you will.
Mutilation is probably a little bit more appropriate of a name. More like, maybe like massacre. Female genital massacre.
That sounds like the name of, like, a feminist punk band.
Yeah.
Female genital mutilation. Oi! We're female genital mutilation! And let me tell you what, London, we're about to mutilate your genitals!
And then there's also, like, how Playboy is, like, starting to, like, branch out into different forms of publication. So they're starting a comic, female genital mutation, and it's kind of like the X-Men, but it's all women, and it's sort of pornographic. Are we going to get a copyright strike for that?
No, I don't think his singing is that good.
Probably.
That good. It's been a while since I've done that to you, Brian.
Felt good. Felt right.
It's always the lowbrow stuff that hits the hardest.
Listen up, bub. I'm Wolverine.
See, that actually worked because at that point he sounded so polite that he could be actually Canadian. That's the most unbelievable thing about Wolverine is that him being a gigantic douchebag.
I thought Alex's Wolverine sounded more like Kermit than Wesley's Kermit did.
Yeah. Tonight, the part of Wolverine will be played by Jordan Peterson.
By Peter Jordanson.
Hey, bub, I'm Wolverine, man.
I don't
Whoa,
got time
what was
for
that?
bureaucrats and people coming and trying to convince me of things, man. I don't have time for these teams and stuff, man. Mostly I just kind of do my own thing and I'm a lone wolf. Do you understand what it's like to be a lone wolf? El Lobo all alone in the desert?
Hey, that Jean Grey, she's got it going on, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that goes against being a lone wolf, Brian. Okay, lone wolves, they don't care how Jean Grey looks. Jean Grey, she's too much of an authority figure. All right, we're going straight for that sweet rogue poontang.
Professor X, do you own a lobster? Have you cleaned your room?
Hey, Professor X, man, it's kind of a dump in here, you know what I'm saying? Reminds me of, southern Mexico, man.
Well, now you're just getting racist with it, Brian.
So place is kind of a shit.
Yeah. Plus, we do the Peter Jordanson thing, so seldom. It's there just isn't, it's really perfect for the lost context, really. See, everybody has forgotten
because
what
there's
it
no
means.
continuity whatsoever.
Yeah.
Wait, why was this a thing? Who cares? Let's run with it. And the best part is this won't even be released until probably next week, which means we'll be even further removed from the last time we did a Peter Jordanson thing.
And further removed from news of the Jew and the Shrew.
Probably.
Which means we'll probably do about 5 Peter Jordanson commercials to throw in this episode to just really saturate it.
Oh, we need some new characters.
Agreed.
All we have are Tim Stupid Jordan Peterson and Tim Stupid Frankie Walnuts.
Whoa! Frankie Walnuts isn't stupid, man. Frankie
I keep on
Walnuts
meaning to bring Cliff back, but I just haven't got a chance to.
And
by that, I just mean I just haven't done it.
And for whatever reason, Tim has decided to carry on Vape Nation, man. Raspberry urine.
because I don't always care what it is that makes everybody else laugh. Sometimes it's just for me.
I like that. It's terrible for a podcast, but I admire it.
Yeah. Well, isn't the ultimate inside joke the one that only makes you laugh and nobody else is inside on it?
I'll be honest, a lot of memes that I post, I assume are only funny to me, and then I come back shocked that other people actually found it funny.
They're just being like Chris and just laugh reacting to make everyone think that they get up and they don't understand what you're talking about. They're just...
If they're doing that to me, Brian, what are they doing to you? Just saying, bro.
Everybody gets my jokes. My jokes are basic as fuck.
Uh-huh.
You're making me question everything.
Good. I need you to take this red pill, Brian. I need you to leave the world of centrism and come to the sweet, sweet embrace of Trump. With Trump wide open, I'll run into his arms. Gonna fix America. And I don't know the tune of this song at all.
You're pretty close. You were like spot on there for a minute.
That's because I did the one part that everybody knows, with arms wide open. Wait, what the fuck comes after with arms wide open? Oh, shit.
Fucking sick guitar solo for about like 5 seconds.
Oh, shit.
It was funny how rock music brought back the guitar solo, but they made them super short to where they were barely even a full measure. And then like they've left again. Probably never to return. It's kind of sad, really.
With arms wide open, I welcome Hannity. He'll sit right here with me.
Yeah, that was really funny a second time.
Yeah.
Listen, you
I
guys,
was thinking that the whole time. I was like, is this really happening again?
you guys left me all alone with Alex. I had to talk about something, so.
Well, I didn't think you were going to start it until I was here. And then also, I was waiting for you guys in the other, because I had forgotten that we switched from, we were going to do the D&D. And then you were like, oh, well, let's just record the regular one. And like a dope, I just stood there, like, I electronically stood there in the other room alone, just waiting for you guys to show up.
You're sitting at the bar at Applebee's, ordering a Long Island, just like, nah, man, they're going to show up, man. Don't worry about it.
I don't know. I still feel worse for me sitting alone in a room with Alex than I do you sitting in a room by yourself.
Alex, can we get your take on Brian's low opinion of you?
It's funny that you're the one that's uncomfortable in that situation.
Right,
See,
Brian's
okay.
or Alex is the child next to a fucking child predator, so.
I mean, so here's the thing about Brian, is that I don't quite know how to describe him. Like, he's just kind of this, like, social construct that, like, is, like, from 2005, but he's, like, this self-engineered robot that has been put in 2018, and I think Brian is a bot, because, like, I see things where he's like drinking alcohol at 3 a.m. and he went to Target to make a joke about how Wesley keeps it segregated, so he specifically bought white and brown bread to make this joke. Like, I think that Brian is a bot. I don't think he's an actual human being. And that's
what you need to also remember, Alex, is that he spent the entire weekend planning this joke. Because, like, Brian doesn't always have money. It's only on certain days of the week when the welfare checks come in. And so he had to wait until the welfare office was open so that he could go down there, get some food stamps, then exchange said food stamps for bread, then have his father hold a camera and take a picture of him holding up bread, and then actually go in and Photoshop that shit. It's way sadder than you fucking were letting on to.
And then only a few hours later, he had to go back to the store and buy some fishnet stockings and some short shorts.
He actually returned the bread so that he could get that stuff. Like, oh man, I got a new thing that I got to do for online. I promise, Dad. Like, it seems
value
really
for bread?
weird, but well, those fishnets were ripped.
he's
so.
He's something for sure.
I guess that explains all the alt accounts and like self-replicating.
I've noticed that since we've started the D&D podcast, that this podcast has turned even more into a shit show than it ever used to be. Way more free form, way less topics, way less guests.
For all you grammar Nazis out there, he meant way fewer topics.
I did not, actually.
You're retracting the correction.
He meant the topics way less. They're not as heavy as they used to be. Like, we used to really strike down to the core of what really mattered, and now we just kind of don't.
Exactly.
Speaking about what does... actually, I don't even know if you guys talked about this yet. Tim started a fucking vegan yoga class in college.
Club. It was a club, not a class. I'm not qualified to teach at a college. So,
I mean, just... How how does Tim have that happen to him? Because, I mean, for the folks of you who've listened long enough, I mean, he's not vegan and he doesn't do yoga.
I mean,
I could just picture him doing yoga though. This 6'4" dude, like trying to stretch and how do you even find a mat that fits you? You have to buy 2 mats.
He's just like, getting his feet and his ass all up in other people's faces as they're like trying to do the
that
poses
honestly
next
is
to him.
my favorite part about yoga is the fact that I can just span my fucking foot over into your personal space and be like, what, man? I'm sorry. It's really crowded in here. I don't know what to tell you.
You're like 2 mats over from him and you get a foot in the face. Sorry, man.
Get into that one position and then rip about a 35-second fart. And then blame it on the person next to you.
I went to a yoga class with the girl that, I started this club with because I was trying to bang her. Anyway, I went to a yoga class and I just thought it would be really funny to act like a bro when I was doing stuff. And so, we'd get into a position and I'd just be like, every once in a while, just like giving a really good fucking grunt. And not a single person batted a fucking eye, dude. Like, not a fucking eye I was really disappointed. And
oh, man.
If you can imagine how over the top I probably got with it, dude, not a single person paid me any fucking mind. Like, yeah, dude, it was really disappointing.
Do you think they just didn't want to, feed into it that they just knew you would probably do it more? Or don't encourage him. Or, were they just so freaking relaxed and accepting and, they just were thinking about the coexist sticker on their car.
I was just about to say there were a lot of coexist stickers in the parking lot, and so maybe they were just practicing what they fucking preach for once.
Hey Tim, can listen, we're all trying to do yoga here. Can you please just tone it down a little bit? All right, man. We're just trying to do a little bit of Krav Maga here, and so if you can just you're at a 10 right now. If you can take it down to a 5.
A yoga / Krav
Maga. / pottery killed.
Well, I just want to go to a Krav Maga class where all they do is play Tim McGraw.
I don't even know what to say.
I mean, Texas is a big state. It has to exist somewhere.
Holy fuck. I went Krav Maga and I went... That was a Tim McGraw song for people that don't know.
Yeah.
Sort of. I changed a word or two.
You're fortunate I don't know any Tim McGraw songs, so I cannot participate in this parody.
Thank fucking God. Because we should really just repeat the same joke about 10 seconds after the last time it was made for the rest of the podcast. That's really good radio.
With thumbs wide open.
Actually, that wasn't bad. That was a pretty decent callback. See, you're getting better at this. It's learning, Alex. It's learning.
I don't like how quickly this bot's learning. He's starting to become self-aware. It might be like iRobot, where the robot starts to turn on Will Smith.
You should probably call Mr. Bridges.
All of his alts start developing their own language and speaking to each other, and nobody can understand what's going on.
That's when we just shut the fucking project down.
Yeah.
Just firebomb the Bridges household. Just nope. Can't let it replicate.
I don't even need to type in Craig join or Craig leave when I want Craigbot to record us. I could just bot speak to him. But I do it for the illusion.
I thought you were being real about that for a second.
Good, so you believe me. I tried to picture, well, I shouldn't say this out loud, but I tried to picture Alex doing yoga. And I couldn't do it. I don't think he's
Where the fuck is Chris Hansen right now? Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Hansen, we need him. I need you to sit right there, mister, and think about what you've done.
Well, on the technical level, I'm not a minor, so I mean, legally, although it's still very creepy, I think he would be in the clear.
I'm pointing to my heart and saying, Alex, right here, you're a minor. Right here. Okay? So
he's a minor in
I
his
need you to
heart?
just play along. In my heart, at least.
Oh, that's ooh.
All right, wait. Now, Tim, I think we need to call Chris Hansen on you now. 'Cause, you staged this thing for Brian, but now you're getting weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, the episode where the Lost Context podcast hosts get pedo after Alex.
Alex, you're a minor in my penis.
Would he wear like some sort of a miner's hat when he does that? Would we give him a matic?
Sounding level ultimate.
You put that pickaxe down.
He's got to pick away at the syphilis bumps and shit.
You got like gallstones.
There's no way that you would ever have gallstones that would be stuck there with that level of sounding. Like the sheer mass of those gallstones would be unheard of.
Gall boulders.
It's too much for our pickaxe. We're gonna have to start blasting.
You wouldn't urinate anymore. You would just have an avalanche.
Blasting is the next level of sounding.
Shout out to Chris Cowart, who was worried about his number one sounding like number twos.
Shout out to Chris Riley's joke that just got glossed over.
That's okay. He's got a lot more. We can pay attention to the next one.
Oh, this is fucking chaos. This is literally fucking chaos. There is no rhyme or reason or direction to any of this.
I don't think we've gotten we haven't gotten to like one topic, and we're like 30 minutes in.
Okay,
well, I started the topic of Tim's yoga class, and he never even told us if he banged her.
I didn't.
You didn't? Oh, man.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys some questions. So the first one is, a time traveler appears out of nowhere right in front of you, and he invites you to join him on a time traveling adventure. Is there anything that they could do to convince you that they're telling the truth and that it's real? Uh-oh. Discuss this amongst yourselves. I will be right back.
That's Brian at his own door to let him know that he got a time traveler. Yep. God damn it, Chris. I fucking hate it when we...
Now, okay, to answer Brian's question, I think that for a time traveler to convince me he was real, I would like to be taken to the Mesozoic era of the dinosaurs. I think that would be a very entertaining era to go to. And I feel like taking me to the past would actually be a better way of proving that it was, that he was real. But I don't think there's anything that he could say up front before he took the time traveling that would actually convince me. No.
What if he had something with him from the future?
What would that thing be though? Like a hologram box or something like that?
Tomorrow's newspaper.
Well, what could convince you?
I mean, if it was like, if he had like a really advanced hologram, maybe that could, because that's like some futuristic stuff. I mean, we kind of did that for like Tupac and Prince, but I mean, like if he had like a really futuristic one, that would be kind of cool.
Help me, Alex Insdorf. You're my only hope.
So like a hologram of like Daft Punk or something?
I mean, maybe. Or if he like brought Michael Jackson back from the dead with a hologram or something.
Didn't they do that too?
I don't know if we did. I think we did something with Michael Jackson, a hologram, but I don't remember. The NFL wanted to do a Prince hologram at the Super Bowl performance, and then that leaked a week before the Super Bowl, or like a day before the Super Bowl or something, and they pulled the entire thing. because that could be a disaster. That was pretty funny.
What if everyone that's ever said Trump is a Nazi is actually a time traveler trying to warn us?
They should warn us better than that.
So
they're gonna have they're gonna have to come back again and try a new thing because the first one didn't work.
So I'm thinking that because Alex is on this podcast, that Tara might listen to it. So we should say some mean things about her in order to try and draw that out. Like draw out the acknowledgement that she listened.
Why, I just can't think of a single thing that's mean to say about Tara.
I'd like to redo that. hold on, let me do this in editing.
Was that trying to be like a Bob Ross, or what were you going for there?
I think kind of
like a Jim Rogers, maybe?
Like a Paula Deen.
Paula Deen? Well, you didn't even use one N-word there.
Okay.
How are we supposed to guess that?
If you guys had been on instead of leaving me in a room alone with Alex, you would have known that we both promised each other. He promised he wouldn't pee ever again on the podcast, and I promised that I wouldn't say the N-word ever again.
Wait, what?
And then Alex said, one of those is not true, and one of them's going to be broken tonight. So we don't know. We don't know if it's going to be the N-word or the peeing on this podcast.
I mean, there's always the chance that Brian might like stub his finger or something like that, so it's probably going to be the N-word.
Because that's the normal thing you say in the situation.
I mean, it's what PewDiePie says in situations like that, so.
I forgot about that.
I'm afraid that one day Chris Cowart's fear is going to come true, and Alex is going to piss on the podcast, and it's going to kerplunk, kerplunk.
Well, I mean, that kind of already happened once.
Oh.
I don't remember when it was, but there's an episode where my peas were segmented.
like the join or die snake.
Kind of.
Well, all pee is kind of segmented because, like, you actually pee in drops and not in, like, a steady stream. It looks like a stream, but if you ever pee with a flat strobe light on, like, you can see it's all just a bunch of drops. And so, like, it's like a myth about the peeing on an electric fence. So you'd have to, like, your dick would almost have to be touching it for the electricity to arc up your piss stream.
Why does it have to be a strobe light?
Because the light,
What?
like, you know, it's like the flashes, you see all the individual little drops. Where, like, your brain in a constant light situation just makes it all flow together. It's your brain trick.
I'd like to thank Alex Jones for coming on the show today. He was a great guest to have.
Alex, I want you to Alex Jones, mind you. I want you to tell us, how are you doing? What are your plans for the future?
Well, I'm gonna keep fighting the fucking globalists at every fucking opportunity that I get. And I'm gonna tell you fucking what. It doesn't matter which one of these liberal fucking companies that are gonna try and keep me down. I take so much smooth brain on so much of a basis that nothing can ever stop me.
Alex Jones, tell us about your plans to join the WWE. You would actually do well on there. I've seen you tear your shirt off before.
Well, when I was a kid, I was a big fan of the Macho Man Randy Savage. If you were aware of the Randy Savage, you would know that I enjoy the wrestling. I don't know. I can't do this anymore. It's hurting my voice. And
I swear, dude, I want to interview your wife so bad on the show and just ask her questions about you.
Tim, I have to ask, how do you not have an aneurysm every time you do that voice? Because you did that voice on the podcast last week that I still have to edit. You did that voice, and I was like, how have you not had an aneurysm from doing this voice? Because it's so strenuous, and it's like to the umpteenth degree of Alex Jones.
Oh, dude, and my microphone is just redlining the entire time that I do it, even though I'm a solid 3 feet away from my microphone.
I know he almost has aneurysms. He talked about it one time. He started to do it. He just went into a coughing fit and almost passed out.
Yeah, I feel that one in the temple region.
Yeah, it's amazing that, your kids get any sleep at all.
It's just Alex was talking about how the TV affected his dreams. I don't even want to know what Tim's kids dream at night.
Oh, man.
Every Monday night, they wake up at 3 in the morning, like in a panic and a sweat.
I'm the third revelation, Dad. I am. I swear.
So the other day, my wife tells me that she had this dream where she went to the county fair, and for some reason she brought our cat. And then while she was there, somebody...
No, don't gloss over that part.
Oh, no, it gets way, way better. So, yeah, she brings the cat to the county fair, and then someone at the fair pulls the goddamn cat's tail off.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Like, she told me that, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty fucked up. And then, like, she left the room to go do something, and then I'm, like, sitting there thinking, like, man, that's really fucked up.
But why did she bring the cat to the fair?
I don't know. People do stupid shit in dreams, man. Like,
It's so weird.
Oh wait,
yeah.
wait, that was a dream.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
I thought you were saying that was something that actually happened. Like she brought the cat to the fair and someone like ripped its tail off.
That would be crazy.
Dude, she shouldn't just be going to do the dishes after telling somebody a story like that. She should go and, like, contact the police. Like, she was very nonchalant for somebody that had that happen in real life.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. Like, yeah, we brought our cat to the fair and somebody ripped its tail off, you know, but I gotta go check the mail or whatever. And I didn't even think to ask at the time, like, was it like a bloody ripoff or was it like one of those weird surreal, like, you know, it just comes off like a solid thing. And I don't know.
So
I'll probably never even think to ask her.
Our county fair is this week, and I mentioned that to my Australian friend, and she's like, oh, I always wish we could have county fairs and stuff. That's such an American thing. Never occurred to me that they don't have county fairs in a place like Australia.
Oh, weird. What would a county fair in Australia even be like? Like, oh my god. It'd be frightening, I'm sure.
Yeah, imagine the carnies down there. And everything they try to convince you to do, they'd just be like... they'd just be like... you know, and they could... I don't know if they would be able to allow to have, like, shooting galleries and things, because they've banned their guns, so they'd have to be like, come on and try me, you know.
It'd be a frisbee gallery. Or not a frisbee, what are the things? The boomerang. Yeah.
Come toss a boomerang at a kangaroo.
Yeah.
It's not actually even a carnival gang.
Many tries as you like, as long as you get it to come back to you.
Why are they
Or maybe
British?
they grease up the boomerang.
Why did you go Cockney for that one, Brian?
Tim, every accent I do is Cockney in some way. Oi, I'm from
He's
Southern
always
America.
just got cock on the mind.
I'm from Southern America. Oi, governor. I'm from Georgia.
Blake Pope's here.
We should get
I've got a bit of the vapors.
Shit.
Ever since I married me cousin, life has been swale.
Swale.
Swale. Let's say this time traveler convinced you that it was real.
Oh man, I forgot completely that we even brought that up.
Is there anything this time traveler could do to convince you to go with them to a different time? Like,
there's one thing.
What?
If the time traveler was like, hey, we're going to go to a dimension where the only joke that exists is your Frankie Walnuts character and the raspberry urine fucking vape juice. And I would be like, yeah, dude, let's go fucking live there.
Wow, it turned into a dimensional traveler.
I mean, that's kind of what would be happening.
Yeah, because
Well,
realistically, there'd be no way that you could actually go backwards or forwards in time, just into different dimensional possibilities for said timeline.
Oh boy, here we go.
Isn't time itself a dimension?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, technically, time travelers are dimensional travelers.
I'm of the opinion that time doesn't exist. Everything decays, and then we're just like, let's add numbers to this shit.
What?
Yeah, everything decays. So they're like, let's start counting. Like, let's start dividing these things up into numbers, and we'll just start assigning like obscure, like we'll call it a timeline.
So wait, because things eventually decay, taxonomy is stupid?
No, Brian.
I'm just trying to get the logic of this. Hold on, Alex. We need to get the logic of Brian's opinion on taxonomy.
Wait. No, Tim. I wasn't asking about his actual opinion on taxonomy. I was actually, what was the voice you were doing while you were going on that thing about numbers? Because I wasn't sure what that was supposed to be.
That was my Cockney scientist voice.
Oh my god.
We'll discover the unified theory. We will. Just after I get those chimneys clean.
Just after I ask Google what taxonomy is.
Oh my god.
Taxonomy is theft.
I'm laughing more at how hard you're laughing at that joke.
I know. That was one of those that's like, just made specially for me.
Perfect. No, Dennis will laugh. Shout out, Dennis.
If he listens.
Alex.
He listens.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex.
Mm-hmm. Alex.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you have any inside jokes with yourself?
Brian!
You don't have any friends, right?
What do you mean I don't have any friends?
Oh, you do? Oh, shit.
Yes. What do you mean? What were you saying before? Inside
Brian
what?
just assumes that everybody is like him and only hangs out at nursing homes and with senior citizens and does podcasts with the local community center, and that's it.
Have you been looking at my personal Facebook pictures again?
I don't have to. I just know how pathetic your life is.
It's like watching The Truman Show.
Same episode every day. Oh, fuck. Well, yeah, actually, recently I was going through everybody's pictures trying to find good shit to meme.
What were you saying about having real friends, Brian? What was your question about that?
I was asking if you had inside jokes with yourself.
Ooh, do I have inside jokes with myself?
You go down to the basketball court, there's no one there, you live in a post-apocalyptic world, and you just kind of make yourself laugh every once in a while to keep your own morale boosted.
What the hell is going on right now?
That's what I always picture. Alex,
a little improv exercise.
Every single episode of Alex's CLC report, he's by himself. He's either in his room, in his kitchen, walking through the neighborhood with no one around, or in a basketball gym all by himself. And I just picture him living in this post-apocalyptic world. He's just
dude, that's just New Jersey, Brian. That's how New Jersey is, dude. You didn't know that?
Does nobody go outside?
Dude, it's
Alex?
A post-apocalyptic world. It literally is. Like, Chris Christie was fucking governor there for 8 years. Like, come on, man.
That's fascinating.
Or was it 12?
Brian, I don't understand why you think I would record the CLC report in front of literally anyone. Like, I try to be... If I'm doing a CLC report, I try to be as far away from civilization as possible. Okay. I do not want to see anyone catch me doing a CLC report. Like, that would be worse than like your dad walking in on you masturbating. Like, serious.
That is the fairest point I've ever heard. I wouldn't want anyone to see me climb a pole either.
Hey, you guys, what the fuck is Insdorf doing? Just his shitty CLC report that he does for that weird fucking group he's always laughing about. Oh man, fuck him. Yeah, fuck him.
Well, this does that kind of thing does bring me to a point where, like, I forget what it even was. Maybe it was like it was that New Year's thing where I uploaded like a picture of my girlfriend to CLC, and I was just like, "Oh, Happy New Year's, everyone!" And the next morning, I woke up and everyone was memeing that picture, and like someone had photoshopped Tony's face on my girlfriend or something like that. And so I'm looking at my phone, and we're at breakfast or something, and so she looked at that picture and was like, "Why is there a dude photoshopped on my face on your phone?" I was like, so I'm in this group. It's and I couldn't even like explain it to her without her like probably immediately breaking up with me on the spot.
So that's how you lost that girlfriend.
And the hand hovered extra far that day.
Now, you don't currently have a girlfriend, correct?
No. Not currently.
Because on the time capsule episode that we may or may not have recorded, you may or may not have done a shout out to your girlfriend at the time, so that must have been a recent goodbye. I think that was in June.
Sure might have been.
And even on the episode, you were like, and whoever the girlfriend is, you were like, and if I'm still with you at the time that this is recorded. But you're not. Unless you hook back up with her. Maybe you have till Christmas to get back together with her for that episode to, that message to go through. Turn my phone sound off.
Wait, that was you that got a phone call?
Oh my god. I didn't even realize that was a phone call. I thought there was like some crystal magic going on or something.
Uh-oh.
You're getting
That was
summoned
Brian's
by your,
alarm to wake him up for the podcast.
Alex turned
Or that was the sound the time traveler made, come and whisk him into the future.
That's all I have.
What were you saying, Brian?
Something about a girlfriend, and then I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
He wanted to know if you wanted to talk about that breakup while I sang a Paula Cole song in the background.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'll start. I mean, honestly, just to be over. I was in New Jersey. She's in Israel. That's how it was. Work for the relationship, and it just didn't work out for each other like that. So I mean,
We're gonna cut to commercials, folks.
Morning night, say a little prayer for right.
Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada.
Hey there, it's Cliff again from Old Canada, Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada's premier adult novelty store. Today, I got something real special for you. Down south, if you know what I mean. America! This month we're running extraordinary deals for our friendly neighbors to the south. For all items having to do with self-pleasure. You'll get 20% off on vibrators, dildos, magazines, and videos. Oh, and pocket pussies. We even have full-size, lifelike dolls of sexy Canadian women, such as Shania Twain, Celine Dion, and Justin Trudeau. So put the yank back in Yankee and doodle your noodle. Just go to our online store at allcanada.com. That's 3 O's, 3 H's, and then Canada. And enter the promo code CONTEXT. See you soon.
Hey, have you listened to the Jew and The Shrew podcast, which was once the AI podcast, which was once the Torah and Tara podcast? Oh, you haven't? Oh, now's a good time to get started. For the low discounted price of 599 shekels per episode, you can listen to the Jew and The Shrew podcast while you're at work, or while you're at home, or while you're with your fiance. You can
or while you're masturbating.
Or while you're masturbating. That's a very good point, Tim. You can check out Jew and The Shrew on podcast services anywhere, like iTunes, or Simplecast, or Spotify. All of the podcast services, really. We have guests on every week. Last week, we had Tim on, and the week before that, we had Wesley on, who are both hosts of the Lost Context podcast.
Tim, I think you need to insert a testimonial real quick here before Alex finishes up his commercial.
Here we go to Tim with a testimony.
I was on the Jew and The Shrew podcast, and Alex Insdorf jerked me off.
I cannot confirm or deny whether I jerked Tim off. I'm going to leave that to my attorneys for the time being.
I was on it way back when it was still the AI podcast, so I guess that makes me some sort of a hipster.
Yeah, holy shit, that was back in October of 2017.
But then again, Tim, you were on it last week, and you were still on it before it was cool, so I guess we're both in the same boat.
Hey!
Alex, this is a really long commercial. You need to finish it up.
Anyway, thanks to Tim for that great testimonial. Please check out my show, The Jew and The Shrew, on podcast services anywhere. And in addition to The Jew and The Shrew, you can check out a new podcast called Balls in Your Face, starring Tim and me. So you can check out both podcasts whenever you want on podcast services everywhere. Please, I need to feed my family. If you donate $500 to my Patreon, I'll give you a blowjob.
Is it even legal for you to say that?
I mean, it is now.
Alex is back in New Jersey where everything's allowed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I love New Jersey. I
He's in
love
Ohio,
New
the
Jersey.
feds would be at the door right now. You got a
Dude, I
license
hate
for that
Ohio.
prostitution?
And we're back.
Brian's quickly trying to get a loan for $500.
Ladies and gentlemen, we, the Lost Context Podcast, could desperately use your help as soon as possible. Go to our Patreon and donate at the $500 tier and get that shit through. I am actually switching over to pay instantly instead of pay by the month, and I have already bought my tickets. And
if you do donate $500, I will send you a close-up of my butthole.
This is the longest commercial ever.
So anyway, check out The Jew and The Shrew and Balls on podcast services everywhere.
I thought I brought us back. Okay, now we're back, folks.
Holy shit. Why isn't Alex on every week? This is wonderful.
I don't know, 'cause Brian doesn't like me and doesn't want to let me on.
It's because he doesn't record himself.
Why? Well, why is that a problem?
It's better. It's better when you can record yourself. We need to.
He's better, much better.
we need to buy Alex a microphone, and then suddenly the Jew and the Shrew podcast the quality will go through a roof. Actually, he probably still won't even use it. We'll buy him all this fancy equipment and just record on his phone.
I hate it when I buy a bunch of fancy equipment for Alex and he doesn't use it.
One beer. I had one beer.
These goddamn kids and their disrespecting of the Quippet.
That does sound like a kid's game.
Quip it, gotta have one for Christmas.
Quip it good.
Quip it just sounds like the British version of like Bop It or something like that.
Quip it. Well, I do say good chop.
Quip it also sounds like it could, or quip it also sounds like it could be like a British like sex term. Like you were like, "Oi, did you hear that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry they were quipping it last night?" Yeah, like that sounds like that could be a thing.
It sounds like some sort of foreign currency. That'll be 3 quippets, please. And that it's this is in my hypothetical example here. This is another country, but they have a pretty good level of economy, so it's only 3 quippets for whatever the hell you were buying. But everybody speaks Cockney.
I like the idea. You know, when I was on the show 4 months ago, back in May or June, we seriously talked about topics. Like I remember one of the things we talked about was like Roseanne getting fired, and we would hit on like some of the news of the week and some interesting hypotheticals. And now it's just like a huge shit show. Like I don't even know what we're talking about. We're talking about quippets, which isn't even actually a real thing. It's just something we said, and we just did like a shitty 5-minute bit on it. And that's what this show is now.
Well, the thing was, the last time you were on was a time when Eric Goldberg was hosting. So
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
That's why it was so political and topical.
I'd also like to point out that Alex believes that Rosie O'Donnell is a real thing.
Is Rosie O'Donnell another one of your alts?
Do
I
you have
thought
an
the
alt
bitch
that's
was
like-
white.
Oh my god, I saw that clip and I was fucking I was fucking like dying, and then she went on like Fox News, and the next day in this like grandma attire that was like the most like Hawaiian grandma thing I've ever seen, with like blonde hair. I was like, what is this person even doing?
What if she's just Andy Kaufmaning us, and it's all just one big bit?
Oh, that would be amazing. Because
she should reveal it too. She should reveal the bit soon.
She's been going hard ever since, like, even the days of the League of Our Own, you know? Like, she was young. And then she did her whole... She based
Wait
her
a second. That was Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about, Brian?
We switched to a different person? Who are we talking about?
We've always been talking about Roseanne Barr. You're the only one that said Rosie O'Donnell. We just gave you the benefit of the doubt and didn't pounce on you. See, Alex, this is why the show has devolved. Brian doesn't have enough money for depression medication, so now he just drinks, and now all it is just Chris and I making fun of all of his stumbles and fumbles because he's drunk on every podcast.
I'm sorry.
I mean, one thing I'll grant him in this is that, you know, all white people do kind of look alike. So
back to a theory about Roseanne and her behavior recently. What if Roseanne...
She looks like a monkey.
What if Roseanne is Sacha Baron Cohening us, and she's pulling the greatest trick on us all? All right, and she's tricking us all into thinking that she's been fired, but in reality, she's just playing a character.
What if she had, like, a long Twitter feud with Donald Trump, and then eventually Donald Trump gets elected president, and then nobody else paid it. Oh, wait, that's Rosie O'Donnell. Fuck! My bad. I got confused there for a second.
I would like to issue a formal apology to Roseanne Barr for insinuating that she's not real. Roseanne Barr is, as far as I know, 100% real. It's Rosie O'Donnell is one of my alts. She's the one I made up. I would like to apologize for that. I'm sorry. That was just a mistake.
The real person is a young lady by the name of Rosie Palmer.
Wasn't she murdered in Twin Peaks?
No, that's just what I call my hand after I get done masturbating.
Oh,
Zinger! Wasn't it Lauren Palmer who was murdered in Twin Peaks? Definitely wasn't Rosie Palmer.
I think so. Speaking of...
Brian.
What?
How are you so drunk that you don't remember the name of the main character in fucking Twin Peaks that started the entire show?
The main character that was shown in a couple scenes, and for the rest of the show she was just dead.
No, but I mean, she was the insinuation point of the entire show. Like, that's like forgetting, you know, like that Bryan Cranston has cancer in Breaking Bad. Like, I mean, it's a pretty important plot point.
The thing, so, as you have, I've already done it like twice on this episode. I don't remember names, ever, even when I'm sober. And if you listen to the D&D podcast, which you all should, I forget everyone's name on the D&D podcast. Even after
and his character sheet.
Yeah. I even forgot. Yeah, that's true. I forgot my own character's name too. And it was the name that we've been using over and over and over for all of our characters for like the beginning of this podcast.
You've probably even got a safety deposit box somewhere under the name Tom DeWeese. You just forgot about.
We've been doing this bit for so fucking long that I don't even know why we do it.
Nope, I don't know. You know, we started.
I never knew why the first time you did it.
Because Tim DeMuse sounds like Tom DeWeese, apparently, according to Tim.
Oh, yeah, because Chris was like, because you said Tom DeWeese, and you were like, is that like the low budget Tim DeMuse? And Brian was like, no, he's going to be a guest on the show. Like, he's in the group. And you were like, wait, what? And that was like episode 7, maybe. And so, yeah, we've been doing it ever since. Now I remember. Good times.
We've been doing this podcast ever since the beginning of January, and so we're on the 8th month. We've already surpassed half a year of this shit.
Wait. Are you saying, was it January?
Mm-hmm. I started right after New Year's.
January 18th, I want to say, was the first episode or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, and since we started doing the D&D, like, our Twitter has twice amount in the D&D than it does for this show, and we've been doing it for half the time.
That's because you've been
literally 2 episodes for the D&D thing.
Yeah.
And we've got like 50 for Lost Context Podcast.
You know, I invited the guy from Chasm Quest on our show, and I said, do you want to be on a Monday? And he's like, you need to put all formal requests through our Gmail. So I did, and I never heard from him. I think it was a way to just try and avoid the topic and get away from me.
Probably
a good move on his part.
Yeah.
Especially if he went back and listened to any episode of the show.
You know, the one episode that he's like, I'll check it out. All right. He pulls up the one episode. Well, I guess you could do any of them, but it probably like kicked off the podcast with the N-word or some shit like that. And he's like, all right.
All right.
We don't need that kind of publicity. He knows that the entire D&D community is LGBTQ.
I mean, you're not wrong there.
Okay, so we have really only been networking on Twitter. What if maybe there's a whole world out there that's not LGBTQ?
I told you, dude, it used to be nothing but straight white Holocaust deniers. And I don't know what the fuck changed. Like, this is insane, dude.
I knew one guy.
Wizards of the Coast working their magic.
Did someone say straight white Holocaust deniers?
Convincing people the Holocaust is real, one nerd at a time.
They're really getting into that transmutation.
There was one guy from my early teenage years that would do the nerdy quizzing with us at our churches, and I looked him up recently in the last couple of years or so, and he had turned into a girl, and he had put a thing on his Facebook that said, basically, if you voted for Trump, you know, it didn't matter whether you were his family or friends, if you voted for Trump, you're no longer a member of his, like, he's not even going to be friends with you or family with you or anything, you're just cut off. And I thought, oh, that's a bold statement. It's kind of a trendy thing to do at the time, though.
Yeah.
I gotta say, though, he does not make a very attractive woman.
You preferred him much more when he was a man.
Definitely.
Did he have blue eyes that you just couldn't look into?
You know, he did have blue eyes.
That's really weird that you remember that.
Their whole family did.
Ryan.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Like, what is going on here?
Ryan.
Yeah.
Why do you think that you, of all people, have a right to criticize, like, women's appearance? Like, I mean, because you're a pretty ugly motherfucker, and you got a goddamn bald head on you. I mean, you know, because when you're at that level, I mean, I feel like, you know, whether it's a trans woman or just a biological woman, like, I feel like you have no merit to speak on a woman's attractiveness.
Brian just gets mad anytime that a man takes a perfectly good penis and chops it off. That's the problem that's going on here. Like, he just doesn't understand.
And what
why
happens
you
to these chopped off penises? Where do they go?
Under Brian's bed.
There's a story of this, like, couple. I don't remember where it was. It might have been, like, Arizona or something. But, like, so I think the dude wanted to break up with the chick or something like that. And so the chick tied him to a chair and chopped his penis off and threw it in the dumpster. Then tried to deny that she did anything. And then the police found the penis in the dumpster. That's one of, like, the most horrifying stories I've, like, ever heard. And, like, I mean,
you pick it up. No, you pick it up.
And that's the thing where it's like, dude, I feel so bad for this dude. Like, penile, like, transplant surgery, like, while it's a thing, like, you don't even really know how it's going to turn out. Like, it's a bit just when you get that original Johnson chopped off, I mean, you can't really replace it.
Well, Rick is gay now. Oh, how did he become gay? Oh, he picked the penis up out of the garbage. Oh, that's so gay.
That is a phobia of mine. Like, where?
Picking a penis up out of the garbage is a phobia of yours. Do you want them to be hand-delivered fresh in a bag? Like, what is it that... How do you prefer to pick up your penis? I'm curious. Does it just need... Oh, he still need to be attached to the man? Is that what's going on here? I need to know.
I just think this is a valid concern. Like, are they incinerating these things? Like, where are they all going?
So here's the trick. You either do the bag method, where you got to turn the bag inside out first, so that when you get it, you just flip the bag inside out again, and then it's normal. Or you do the Tupperware thing, where you kind of try to scoop with the Tupperware part, and then with the lid, just kind of fling it in there.
Ryan, I don't really get your concern here because I feel like if you threw a penis in a dumpster or like recycled it, I feel like penises are probably biodegradable. So I mean, from that perspective, I don't think it would be a harm to the environment or anything.
Oh, good. The bugs are gonna eat it.
They're turning the bugs gay.
Well, I mean,
we really do, as a society, need to step up our penis recycling game because it's been pretty atrocious for a long time, and we need to have a conversation about it.
You know what I hate? So when you walk a dog, you're supposed to carry these bags with you, and you invert the bag, put it on your hand or glove or whatever it is, and you reach down, you pick up their poop, and then you pull the glove off, and you can throw it away. It's in a contained bag, so that's good. It's sanitary.
You mean you don't just leave the bag there where the poop was? It's just now in a bag?
I'm just saying, I can't deal with that. Like, even just feeling it through a bag creeps me out. And I can only imagine what it would be like to have to pick up a penis that way. Like, I would feel that shit for weeks. Be stuck in my brain. Like, I'd wake up in a sweat and be like, my hand. Like, it just...
Now how am I going to do my favorite thing again?
Dude, literally 5 years ago, Brian accidentally killed a 5-year-old driving his truck, but this is the thing that he wakes up in a cold sweat about.
I can't even squash bugs with my hand. Like, I have to drop a book on them or something. Because they've got that crunch to them, and I feel that shit for like the next 2 days. I'll feel it in my hand, that...
Well, you could wash your hand. That would help alleviate that.
It wouldn't wash away the crunch.
The crunch that echoes throughout your mind's eye, or what? This is such a weird fucking phobia, dude.
Okay, so the penis thing I'm just imagining would be a phobia, but the spider thing is real.
Don't lie. You've seen a severed penis before, and you were like, I have to pick that up. I can't let a little kid find it somewhere.
I did
This could be dangerous.
find... I was walking through the wilderness, and I happened to come across an empty package for a penis pump. So I ended up throwing that away and try to...
Wait, did you carry that for the rest of your walk? Because that would be fucking hilarious. Just you with a penis pump package.
I had a bag. I had like a backpack or something.
Oh.
For some reason on YouTube, I stumbled upon this. This is a couple of years ago. I stumbled upon this penis pump video, and so like all the comments below this thing are like, "Dude, the penis pump just totally fucking works, man. Like, thank you for your service to this great country."
Thank you for your service.
Like, dude,
Hey,
and,
man.
and like they were posting their measurements, and they were like, "Dude, my penis has grown from 3 inches to a solid 6 inches," or something like that. I'm like, dude, and like this dude who's like providing the penis pump is like, "Oh my god, thank you. That's very great to hear, man. I'm happy that you're enjoying the product." And it's like, what is this subsection of the internet? Like, because these people are obviously bullshitting, because like penis pumps don't work.
Well, here's the thing that I do want to point out, though. Rather than any time that you see somebody on the streets and, you know, they're in their military uniform, instead of thanking them, what I want you to do is look for your local penis pump salesman and go and thank him for his service, because that man is doing God's work.
I like the idea of the penis pump salesman then getting mad at a, army member or something for stolen valor.
These assholes think that they're out there protecting America when I'm the one out here protecting America. Last time I looked at the numbers, we were number 26 with biggest penises in the entire world.
You're making
Pump up those numbers.
You're making our troops an easier target.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think are the top 5 countries in terms of penis size? So these are the biggest 5 countries. What do you think they are?
Number 1 is definitely Chad.
Number 1 has to be like Kenya or Nigeria or something.
I think it was Uganda the last time that I saw one of those weird graphs that was floating around.
That's why Kenyans are so fast. They have 3 legs to run with.
But seriously though, like Chad as a country name is the best. It's like, because you're going down the list of all these, like, you know, United States of America, or like, you know, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Chad.
Brian, there's an African country that's spelled Niger. Would you like to pronounce it?
Niger?
All right, you win this time. I might get you on it. Brian.
Chad should rename it Chode, huh?
Brian, Nigeria is playing at Germany in a soccer match. And so Nigeria's team initials are NIG, and Germany's team's initials are GER. How would you pronounce that?
Jernig. Jernig.
Good work, Tim.
I need to keep these episodes good for YouTube, Alex. God damn it.
Has YouTube complained or striked any videos that you put up?
They have, yes.
Sure has.
For what?
This very thing that you're trying to get me to say.
Really?
Well, here, I don't know. It was during one of Wesley's Ask or Going Deeper with Wesley Sullivan segments, and Tony Calvin was on, and I'm pretty sure he dropped it. And that's the only reason why I can think that they took it off, because they don't explain it to you. They just remove it.
It's funny. Wait, I think the episode that Tony was on, I think I was on that episode, and I think you also said the N-word. So I don't know if it was Tony saying the N-word or you saying the N-word. And I think it was probably you saying the N-word, because that would be much more offensive to the YouTube standards.
It wouldn't have mattered. Tony sounds like a white guy.
Brian has a point.
That's true.
There was something I really wanted to say about penises.
Oh my god.
Remember what it was.
Isn't there always something you want to say about penis?
Oh well.
He wants to get it off his chest.
So you were talking about how this podcast has gone completely off the rails, not that it was ever very on the rails. And the reason is because I used to do all the heavy lifting with topic work and come up with all these topics. And then half of them would end up dead in the water because Tim and Chris would just make fun of me for them. But they never bring anything to the show. And every once in a while, a guest will bring something. But for the most part, like, it's just, topics just don't work well for our format. Our format of Chris and Tim just making fun of everything. They just can't. You know, we tried to talk about time travelers, and by the time I got to my second question, Chris had forgotten we were even talking about time travelers.
That's because normally we're just thinking about the next funny thing that we're going to say instead of actually engaging in the podcast.
And
I'm currently Googling lyrics for a song that I can sing to close the podcast.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
kidding.
Oh man.
So on that note, 25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Will you never ever leave from beside me? 'Cause I want you and I need you and I'm down for y'all, down for y'all. West KB, do you love me? Are you riding?
You guys want to hear my parody that I wrote on? Well, I can't actually remember what his name is, but one of our CLC members.
But yes,
I need to 100% guarantee you that it's not worth it and it's not that funny. But here we go.
Even better, because then I can make fun of you for it afterwards.
It was Joshua Wayne. Are any of you friends with Joshua Wayne? No, you're not. I'm looking at his
Who
friends
the
list
fuck
right
is Joshua Wayne?
now.
I thought he said Wang.
Is Joshua Wayne Bruce Wayne's like retarded Southern stepbrother?
Yes, he's in the group.
Oh, we're talking about a real person.
Yeah,
way to go, asshole.
He's a CLC member.
Shit, I'm gonna issue an apology to Joshua Wayne, and to also
issue an apology to Bruce Wayne for having a retarded Southern fucking step cousin.
Step cousins are just the worst, aren't they?
I'm gonna apologize to Roseanne Barr, not because I said anything about Roseanne Barr, but just because I felt, it might be good to cover my boundaries and preemptively apologize.
So Joshua Wayne posted, if you order water at CC's Pizza, they wait until you're getting more pizza and pour something into your drink. And if it's anything other than water, it turns to poison and you drink it and then you die forever. CC's is tired of screwing around. I have no idea why he wrote that, but then I commented, CC, did you drug me? Are you lying? Say you'll never ever try to suicide me, 'cause I want you and your pizza and I'm down for you always. I told you it wasn't worth it.
I think Drake is really rolling in his grave, and he's not even dead yet. At that
Oh, that was a
listening
Drake
to
song?
Brian, just yes.
I've honestly never heard one single thing from Drake. I just know him from the memes.
He sings that really popular song from the 80s. It goes something like, "Unbreak my heart." Have you ever heard that? That's Drake.
Chris,
Oh, okay.
Chris Riley just heard for the very first time ever the Despacito song, a month ago?
Yeah, no, it wasn't even that long ago. I think it was only like a week and a half ago.
Wait, Chris, have you heard Despacito 2?
No,
It's a very good song.
Hey, Chris, have you ever listened to Ligma?
Yeah.
All right.
How
Ladies
do
and
I say
gentlemen,
this to where I don't instigate the punchline of it?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can listen to more episodes of the Jew and The Shrew on Podbean, or no, you're not on Podbean, on iTunes and Simplecast.
Did you just say the Drew in the shoe?
Probably.
Folks, you can listen to the Jew and the Shrew and Balls in Your Face on podcast services everywhere. And I think it's a good thing to let you Some people don't really
With arms wide open!
Hey, pretty lady, won't you give me a sign?
I'll do anything to make your mind on mine. I'll do bidding and be at your beck and call. I've never seen anyone looking so fun.
Jew and the Shrew on podcast services everywhere, as well as the show Balls in Your Face, starring Tim Davis Muse, which hasn't been released yet because Tim is still doing the art for it and still has not done it.
Well, here's the problem that we've actually run into. Every single time that I go to Kinko's, they tell me that I'm not allowed to photocopy my dick. And then I get kicked out of that Kinko's. But once I find a Kinko's that is going to let me photocopy my dick, as a matter of fact, Kinko's, if you're listening, please contact a Milwaukee store and let them know that it is all right for me to place my testicles and penis onto their copying device and then create the art for Balls in Your Face. Thank you, Kinko's. Continue,
Well, you're going to the wrong store. You need to go to Kinkies.
Kinko's, will you scan me? Because I'm trying.
To make this podcast artwork.
Do you think you could get testicular cancer from doing that, though? I mean, that seems pretty dangerous.
It's just light.
I mean, maybe it's like some, testicular radiation the government's giving.
Definitely not. It's definitely just light.
I mean, you could probably leave some cancer on the thing, and the next person will get it.
I'm definitely going to leave some smegma on the thing, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey, Peter Jordanson here, just letting y'all know.
Can you please end this episode with a raspberry urine?
Just letting y'all know that y'all should wash your penis.
Now, I want to believe that even though he's Mexican, he's been with us long enough that he started saying y'all.
Vape Nation, man. Raspberry urine.
Let's see how they make it.
I'm going to stop my recording right now, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Raspberry Urine Factory, where they make raspberry urine vape for all your... Boy, I don't even want to know what kind of needs.
The world's finest Jewish raspberries. The making of this product.
And the finest Palestinian urine comes together to make the most, what we hope will eventually be the most peaceful vape juice that you'll ever use in your entire life.
peaceful because you'll be all alone in your room. No one will want to be around you after that. Blowing that shit into the air.
PP, won't you vape me?
Okay, I'm stopping my recording too.
All right. Like, what is going on here? What is going on here? What is going on here?
The episode is finished, Captain, and the solar rays are fully charged. Shall we commence with the destruction of Earth?
No. I want to hear another episode. Are there more?
Yes, sir. I'm currently seeing 31 episodes, with new ones released each week.
Confound it. I need to hear them all. Power down the weapons. Hang here and let me listen. I want to hear every episode of the Lost Context podcast.
If you want to search online for the Lost Context podcast, here are the places you can find us. Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and YouTube. YouTube also occasionally has video content beyond just the podcast episodes, as does IGTV. You can follow us on social media as well. We have a Facebook page, Chris posts funny things to the Twitter, and we all post memes and updates on our Instagram account. If you want to support the show, you can pledge any amount of money at patreon.com/lostcontext. And don't forget to check out our D&D podcast, which features storytelling in a homebrewed world with cowboys, magic, vampires, orcs, voice acting, and original music. Search for LCP D&D on any of the aforementioned platforms. LCP D&D, which of course stands for Lost Context Podcast Dungeons & Dragons. Last of all, you should come hang out with us in our CLC Facebook group. Sometimes it's hidden, so if you would like to join, feel free to shoot us a message on any of our media platforms, and we'll get you in. We have a lot of fun photoshopping each other, making memes, having political discussions, and we even have movie nights, jukebox hangouts, and other events over Discord. Whew. Who knows? You too could end up on this podcast. So that's all for this episode. We'll see you on the next one.